But while US is sort of pause at this point in regards to Ukrainian crisis, seems like Washington is confused which way to go. Either go all the way with globalists and get engaged in this proxy war against Russia with full strength, or to be focused more on America, on this idea of America first. Clearly, there is some sort of confusion in Washington in this regards, it seems like. And therefore, well, there is a confusion also among countries of the coalition of the willing. Remember, UK and France, several months ago, created this coalition of willing, and they were making some strong statements. They're gonna send troops to Ukraine. They're gonna defeat Russia. They're gonna do this and that, and they almost colonized entire galaxy. By the way, they were very ambitious, right? And did you hear anything from coalition of willing in last, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 months, or 5 weeks, or 6 weeks, or 7? No. Where this coalition disappeared, by the way? Without US, they are used to, by the way, globalists and globalist-controlled regimes in Europe, they are used to a situation when US does all the dirty work for them, right? For decades and decades and decades, that was the case. Globalists, through their assets inside US political class, Democrats first of all, but others too, globalists were managing to use US as their enforcer in this world. And now they are facing reality when Washington is refusing to play along, not to go along with this, let's say, tradition that was established in the West when Washington is just acting as and US militaries are acting as a sort of private POW for the Brussels or for their globalists, right? London, Brussels, And confusion is growing in Europe. Confusion is growing in Europe, and the political Western media outlet is reporting that a coalition of those willing to help Ukraine is moving without direction. That's what confusion is, isn't it? The British-French project to create a so-called coalition to help Ukraine is moving without a clear direction, political reports citing sources. Part of the problem, according to French officials, that political spectre, is the lack of security guarantees from the United States, on which Britain has relied heavily. What a surprise, by the way. To allay such concerns, the newspaper notes London has scheduled a coalition meeting involving German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, Italian Prime Minister Meloni, and Vladimir Zelensky during... Oh, there is no screen capture. I will deal with it right now. Just a sec. So, okay, that's the news. Thank you. So where I was. So to allay such concerns, or to address such concerns, the newspaper notes London has a scheduled coalition meeting involving German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, and Vladimir Zelensky during French President Macron's visit to Britain. Earlier, the Russian ambassador to United Kingdom, Andrei Kelin, told the TASS correspondent that their project had turned into yet another club of Kiev's friends, after which their excitement died down. The head of the Russian diplomatic mission drew attention to the fact that none of their coalition members, despite initial statements, had committed to conducting serious deployments of forces in Ukraine. It is obvious that this is not a coalition, but only a designation of their presence that has no military significance, Kelin added, and who will argue with this statement of Russian diplomat? It is absolutely correct, and I was saying the same, isn't it? Initially, leadership of this coalition of willing was very strong in the statements, right? They were defeating everybody and they're occupying everything possible, entire universe. But As time goes by and it has become clear that, well, Washington is behaving under this administration differently, well, confusion settled in the Europe because they are not used to this kind of situation. All they know, by the way, in Europe, let's say, is that US is acting as their enforcer, right? All over the world. And now it is not the case. And US is saying that, you know what, guys, I mean, let me think about it. US did not distance itself completely, isn't it? Not yet, at least. But all Washington did is, give me time. Let's pause the situation for now. Let me think. And that's enough. That's how fragile, by the way, this NATO organization really is. That's how fragile collective West really is. And ununited. That absence of commitment from the Washington to do whatever globalists will demand is enough to cause a huge internal friction in this so-called coalition, right? And by the way, without US, European NATO member states are not military power. Let's be real here, isn't it? They are not a military power. Yes, France and UK do have nuclear weapons, and it is dangerous, right? And these countries should behave, because they are nuclear powers, they should behave a bit more responsibly, but that's a whole different story, isn't it? And at one point, I guess Moscow and Washington will have no option to address this topic and to basically denuclearize both these European states, France and UK. Peacefully, by the way. Hopefully it will happen peacefully, but it has to happen because neither London, neither Paris can be trusted with nuclear weapons. It's just too obvious. Anyways, let's continue. This is good news, by the way. This is good news because we don't need no more escalations, isn't it? We need a de-escalation. And all globalists and their control regimes have to do, by the way, is acknowledge that they were wrong when they attacked Russia. They were wrong when they tried to conduct regime change in Russia, destroy Russian economy, destroy country, destroy society, destroy everything. They were wrong, right? They were wrong while provoking this proxy war against Russia. They have to acknowledge that they lost, right? They lost. And after that acknowledgement, they will have an off-ramp to change the policies. Otherwise, they will not be able to change anything, really. And eventually they will force Moscow to just teach them a lesson hard way. Teach them, I mean, to teach globalists, by the way, and their puppet regimes lesson hard way. Hello everyone, I hope you find informative and useful this short clip from main news update, and if so, please click that like button and leave some commentary just about anything. It might help to deal with the algorithm and reach wider audience. And if you like my work in general and want to support to save this media project, you can assist through several ways. You can donate to this project through PayPal platform or Boosty, also with the crypto currencies, or you can subscribe to my Patreon page and page on Boosty, where I have quite a lot of extra content on regular basis. All the links are on this video in description box and in the pinned comment. And of course, many thanks to everyone who already helped and continues to support. Thank you.